Hello everyone. It is Thursday evening, time for our talk, and I'm here to have a conversation with you about here, about home, about Liberia. By the way, next weekend I will be a guest speaker at the Cape Martinians or Association in the America um, convention in the ball here. I will be a guest speaker. Let me post that so all of you can see that. If you are in the Georgia area, I will kindly ask that you come and be my guest. Let's hang out. Let's chill. Okay. What should I say? Yeah, come on, let's hang out. All right, here it is. Here's the poster. If there anyone who wants me to I think my child is more than Yasini Martin Beye, former president of the Liberian Association of Metropolitan Atlanta, an advocate for women and children, a renowned advocate for women and children, a human rights voice, crying from the wilderness. That's me. I'm praising myself. Yes, I am. Because if I don't say that I am, nobody else will say that I am. Okay? So please join us. Here is the flyer. I will put on my page later. Come and join me, be my guest. Let's hang out. Let's support a community. Let's support our community because this is bringing us together, build a community of people that will also give back. So come out, okay? Come out. Now, what am I talking about now? I wanted to talk about Liberia at this point, what is happening in Liberia. If all of you remember, this past weekend, all of our policymakers, including our lawmakers, were in the United States in the name of a diaspora conference. The conference was not really about the diaspora. It was about DSA. They're all leaving their positions, coming to the Americas to collect their tens of thousands of dollars. Okay. The president who said we are president and he's absent, they're both the same, was also here. Who said when he won the election, if he were to win, there would be no traveling, it's not going to be business as usual. But I want you to listen to the finance minister for Liberia. The funny thing with all of us is all our big people in Liberia, if you notice, when they leave their position, they don't stay anywhere higher. Okay? They go to African Development Bank and become country manager, but you came from being a whole. It's like Greenspan living here from the Federal Reserve and going work for as an office manager on Wall Street. Okay? Because that's the only place that they can thrive. They can't compete anywhere. No disrespect to anyone. They can't. They don't have it to compete anywhere else. They will go to World Bank based on recommendation because it's connections. And that's that. When they come from World Bank, the African Development Bank, because all of them are in cahoots. Okay? So here we go. Here what I'm going to do now. Now, this is Gafuan. Lord have mercy. This is Gafuan. Speaking to the people there, explaining to us how they want to borrow money to pay themselves, because that's exactly what they do in Liberia. They borrow money to pay. Listen to the tone of his voice.
Putin is full of ego. He's a dictator. No.
Leave that alone.
The African Development Bank launched something called the Youth Entrepreneurship Investment Bank. The intention is to support more than 30,000 youth-led businesses, entrepreneurs. We mobilized the first 17 million. It's going to scale up over time. And besides, through that initiative, we're working with partners, one of which is the U.S. Development Finance Corporation, the DFC. They intend to scale up support for businesses in Liberia. Just last night, I was in conversation with the U.S. Exim Bank. In fact, he's there. They are interested in supporting folks like you and others who intend to go back home and do business and expand business. So the government is intentional. We'll try to link some of these initiatives and these institutions to specific individuals who have needs. So we will do that. Please contact us. But if we're talking about AI, the UNDP and other partners are supporting the introduction, I think, of a new program at the university for AI and some other digital technology or courses. It will soon be launched at the University of Liberia. The African Development Bank launched something called
Liberia, some countries. So let me explain to you. Okay, number one, they have no plan. That's what it speaks to, in my opinion. No plan, absolutely no plan. Okay. The African Development Bank is initiating a program for entrepreneurship for youth. What qualifies as youth? What are the, besides the age, what are the qualifier that someone is deemed as entrepreneur in Liberia? What kind of background would they have? How will you be able to track that you're getting this kind of money? Let me tell you something. And you see what Bwaka is building in Lofa Country? You know who in charge of that $10 million? His nephew. You know who in charge of the whole country? My grandpa used to call it interior affair. What do you call it? Tier department. That's interior affairs. Tier department. Because he could not speak English. English was not his first language. Tier department. Francis Numali, a confessed killer. Here he goes. A confessed killer. Is the face, the liaison for all of the counties. When you're Liberian, people ask the question, why the children are violent, why there's so much rape in the country, why people are so indecent, why they're so corrupt. The Manu people say, oh, Savo Benzida. Meaning, to plot a map, you need an example. The European will draw a schematics that we have a plan. We say you have to use the old one as the plan. You put that map on top. If you must fix the map that it will not have the glitch that the old one has, okay, you will have to pay attention to detail of the old map that you're using as an example, as a schematics, as a what do you call it? A roadmap, okay, as a plan, architectural plan. So meaning when you get to that point where there's a glitch or there's a bend, you got to make sure you straighten that, or it will end up just like the old map. Nothing will be different. This is the trouble, Liberia. I see young men crying from girls their age. Girls their age crying from boys their age. You know, I've been in education for long, and I watched the kids grow together. I watched them make transition. I watched them, especially when Valentine is coming. I watched them when they start talking to one another and say, and come to you, Miss Martin, I got a crush on him. That's my crush. But they don't want anybody to know that it gives you an opportunity to live your youth again. That innocent, that process, the time that it takes to gain the guts to even tell an older person, okay, because these are like 10, 11, 12, and 13 years old, you know, to I'm considered a trusted adult, right? To even come and talk to me, okay, and then they whisper and say, "Don't tell anybody." To go through that process, see someone they're chasing each other in the hall to kiss on their cheek or to just hug, and they have to get, Miss Martin, can I go see my girlfriend? Can I go see my boyfriend? Like that. Most Liberian girls don't have that opportunity. You know, we make it seem like it's before the war. I mean, it was after the war. That is not a true statement, Liberians. When I was growing up, I remember this day, and I told this story over and over. We used to wake up Saturday morning when we cleaned up, wash the floor, clean the patio, the front porch, wipe everything down because of the dust in Liberia. All right. And this particular day, we got up in the morning and we were cleaning up and we were washing floor. And my dad had a friend. He was a big guy, a big position. And our gate would be locked. At the time, we didn't have those hard gate that they have now. It was just about, you know, maybe about something around my chest, but it was close to the gate. And then if somebody's bringing a car, somebody would run and open the door just as they still do. So he parked his car outside of the yard and he was walking. And the moment my pop saw him coming, he goes, "My man," and I will not call his name, "What are you doing on this side of town? It's soon in the morning." But he didn't know my mom had woken up. She was already in the living room. And the guy goes, "I was in the area, so I thought I stopped by you." And my dad goes, "I would have not my daughter business you coming here for." So when my mom said, "Dear, why you would say something like that?" Then he did not think it through. He turned around to her and said, "Go stay out of there one yet. You know where we can meet?" So the woman turned around and said, "So where y'all can meet?" He said, "Cut it off." So the woman said, "No, tell me where y'all can meet." And he kind of shut her down. I'm saying this to say that I went to school normal time in Liberia. And when you hear young girls say, "God, pa," the people who were giving, they didn't know they were being abused because it's the norm. There were people in position. You know, I always tell Liberian people, if we brought, that way they would not bring DNA machine. If we brought DNA machine to Liberia, everybody would be related, blood related, or at least 60% of Liberian will be blood related. You know why? When you have 14, 15, 16 years old, with all the big shot God pa, God ma, God this, God that, all the God. And your godparents supposed to be people, hey Dyrus, your godparents supposed to be people who complement your parents. Hey Hawa. Hey Fonati. Hey Gus. Your godparents supposed to be people who complement your parents' effort. They're supposed to be your second parents. People who proxy when your parents are not around, or even if they're around, but you compliment them. They're supposed to be your protector. They're not supposed to be people who molest you or take advantage of you because they're in a position to. That is a commonplace. Now, not only that, the culture dictates. You see, there's this video I will play sometime later where the lady walked in the room. There are a lot of people in the room. It was an experiment. And there's a bell going, and every time the bell rings, the people will stand up. The woman walked in the room, saw the people stand up 1, 2 times. The third time, she stood up. Again, she stood up. As the people left one by one, she was still standing up. Another guy came in. And when the guy came in, she started doing the thing. The guy told John her. Then finally, the guy asked the question, why are you standing up? She said, I don't know. I just saw the people standing up. That's that. There was no explanation. Hey, Bill, I owe you, right? Yes. There was no explanation. That's our culture and tradition and crafting. If I told you the Senate Society in Liberia, in Lofa, in Bon, in Nimba, in Grand Basso, Babalu, it also used to be in the Southeast. It used to be Maryland, Grand Jide, Grand Cruz, Sano, all of those places. It took one man. Barclay got up one day and said, you know what? They're not doing that in the Southeast. It's no longer a tradition because nobody can explain what was the essence. We have sorority in the United States. A culture that you craft girls that they pledge to belong to certain group, to have certain characteristics, to stay together, to network without all the things that hang with it. So Barclay stopped that. But we never had. If Barclay had stopped that all over Liberia at the time, you wouldn't hear it. Hey, there go my daughter. Oh, finally, I will call you, ma. Your Oma here. I love you. I know you love your Oma. I will call you. Trying to get this. Okay? I'm going somewhere with this. I started the conversation with me being a guest speaker. The people in leadership having no plans. Their only plan is to borrow money. You know, when the people from Niger, when they say IMF, it's a new imperialist. Okay, they're taking money. How they say taking money? How do you borrow money? Papa Bwaka was just at the UN complaining about the interest rate, how high it is, but they're taking money again. You remember 2 months ago, the people came to Liberia and said they were giving y'all, I don't know how many million, $100 million to build schools. Now they're saying they're giving y'all $24 million, and they're counting this. What we found out was Dr. Richardson and I, they had some grants for farming to apply for it. The process to apply for it, we are 2 educated women, very tedious. The very people that the loan gets in their hand, they set up these fake enterprises in people's name. They're the one who behind it. Family who can't even read and write. And then They take the money to themselves. Plenty of your people there in Liberia, they got to hear everything. They're consulting here, they're consulting there, they're this and that. You know, the last time somebody said you have so many companies, but no jobs. So GAFWAN has no record of creating anything. GAFWAN never in the place before Ellen Johnson Sirleaf got rid of him. All right, they had no plan. That's why. And then they were in the habit of shaking people down. You would go to Liberia, they would say, "Come, I like that in your corner, have dinner, say it will be that. You go, they will give you a contract, you start, you hire people, you put in your money, you start the work. Time not to pay you, they will not pay you. You have to give them cut. If you don't give them cut, you will not get that. That had lots of people pack all their stuff. The second phase of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government, lots of Liberian entrepreneurs out of the around the world were excited to come to Liberia, but just to be slapped in the face with corruption and lied and deception, then they turn around and say the people can lie. You know what was funny is, I listened to Papi Bouaka speech the other day when he returned, talking to Liberians. The weight on the people in America is too much. Don't ask them for money. They work too hard for their money. Imagine this is the man who has the check to our 800 million, plus all the other money that international community gives, and all the other deal that they make underground of our resources that is not on the book. When he gets his cut from the seaport, from the airport, from LEC, from water and sewer and different ministry. This is the same man who less than 2 years out of office after making millions, he didn't build no factory. He didn't build no school. His children smoked all the money or ran around with it. He's telling you now, don't beg. But he had not told you how you're going to survive. You go to the hospital, you don't pay, you will lay down and die. In fact, they will put you outside, there will not be a bed. If you don't have money, your children don't go to school. This is the same men who were begging us in the United States to raise money to pay the hospital bill. This is the same man who Alexander Cummings have to go meeting at ELWA to pay his hospital bill. This is the same man that George Weah had to have him airlifted out of Liberia. This is the same man that leaves the country every 6 weeks to go get what do you call it? Plasma and steroid. This is the same man that cost thousands of dollars. But he's telling you, we are all broke. I don't know how to talk. Like I said, Liberians and leaders don't talk so loosely. Do you know how many millionaires Liberia have here? Liberia got billionaires. Have you ever heard about Dennis? Rachel Dennis? You see Liberia movie stars? You see Liberia YouTubers in the United States? You see Liberian neurosurgeons? You see Liberian bestsellers? You see Liberian nurse practitioner making $300,000 and $400,000 a year? See Liberian medical doctor, family practice? See Liberian engineers? Liberian professors? Liberian programmers? And you talk loosely, Papi Bouaka, loosely. Try to be funny and condescending, because the first time you said, oh, Donald Trump's going to deport them, you were being facetious. Now you pack up, you come, you stay here for 21 days. You say you haven't talked. You have no plan. You're studying the same thing over and over. But just go back home and be rude and try to be disrespectful. One thing though, we are not begging. Most of us live within our means. We get up every morning, we go work. Somebody like me, I'm considered middle class. I am. God has been good to me. My kids are grown. My husband and I both got solid career. I'm an educator. He's an engineer. Coming from being born on banana leaf behind the bathroom. Yeah, we are. You got Liberians working on Wall Street. I can name a few of them to you. I can name at least 20 Liberian medical doctor, maybe 30 Liberian nurse practitioner, DP, doctor of nursing, or DN, doctor of nursing. You know how much money those women make? Oh, you all say we're cleaning poo-poo, we're doing this, we're doing that. Yes, indeed. Hey, bro. All right? They have no plan, Liberian. So long y'all continue to elect people because you all like them. I don't have to like my principal. I like my last principal. She moved on. She got more money. She got different jobs. She moved on. When you get people, that president, you're not hiring them because you like them. You're hiring them because they can do the job. Because their impact will make your life and the people you love and those after you life better. Waka don't have it. He will never have it. He never had it. You know, I remember when we went to Washington before we were called. And a few of the people that were there looked at me and said, and I said, some people said, they're spoken what we are and what we are, we're thinking about resigning. But the question that we are asked were, the money can't stop coming, the money too much. Will he still be receiving the money? So it was not about the job that he could do the job. It was about the money. I see the what do you call it? Solomon George and the other corrupt one with his fake degree, Lester Cheney. Those are the people that only Liberia can really work. Carry on yelling, we are this, we are that. All of them knew that. You know why they're the way they are? Because nowhere else they can work. Most Liberian leaders, when they leave from leadership, they will have to wait to get back into that government. Those of them who live in the United States, only few of them come to this country can survive. I said to y'all, you know, I saw Lazy George Lobo, my little brother, okay, who came here to America, lived here all this while, could not finish one degree. Yeah, you will finish degree in Liberia because Liberia one you can buy it free. I mean, the one who said. Was saying when UP left power, majority of the people found jobs to do. Where y'all were working? George Lobo? Juliana Pierre was over there in Jersey. Where most of them they have visa in their book. They got visa just before and they left and they came to the US. Most of them were not doing anything yet. When y'all talk about Liberians coming from the diaspora to work, you don't get the best among us. You get the least among us. You get the worst among us. You get the liars, the faker, like the Eugene Fagon. What did he do here? Where does he compete? Where can he compete? He lived in America. I don't know for how many he went to Liberia to get a degree. He's the chief. Yeah, he will. He will. I remember Emmanuel Shaw, when he was with Dole, he bought all that property in Florida. When he was out of power, he came to America. He was too good to work. All of that was foreclosed on. I'm sure you now buy a new one when we came back to they looked at good. So now the question that I'm asking you before I leave this platform is, what has changed since you stood in line? Since some of you were transported all the way from Morovia to Grand Jude, what has changed in your life? When some of you left all the way from Ghanarsville, all the way to District 2 to vote, what has changed for you? And I hear you all yelling. Oh, the lawmakers are the problem. No, the voters are the problem. How many times must you make the same mistake? I remember when my little sister, husband, younger brother were running in one of the districts, all the way outside. The all pack of they went there, they register. They went by and voted. They went back and voted. But they live all the way in Brewerville. You leave Brewerville, you go to Kakata to go vote. But you say the people elected, they are corrupt. I saw Martin Colley note the other day where he said constituent visit have cost $4.8 million. Let me say, Martin Colley, that my son, and that's the part I said, then Lufa can say. But let me say this. Martin Colley knew Papa Bwaka because he told me about Bwaka. I remember when CDC, when the people thought 2017 that you people were going to cheat CDC. Soup. Martin Colley was part of soup. They, as CDC people line up all the way coming to the NEC. The soup children line up all the way on the other side, the back of the LU coming that place. I was in Liberia when the U.S. Embassy sent us alert to say what our location, just in case they needed to pick us up. I was right there on the other side of 15th Street, not too far from the Pan African building. Those kids were out there. When I talked to and when Martin Colley had said they kept 9, they were trying to keep 9 in, and got in contact with him when they had make their arrangement that they will come up with story here in Costa then, and then they will leave the country. They will make sure Bwaka is elected. He will feel miserably. Then they will come back to do the real rescue. That is the goal. That means the one who talking now. My children, you can't cause. Me and Martin Colley used to talking about before Martin Colley started doing research. The first person we started with Buffer Chamber. When they said Buffer Chamber got a for Columbia College, and I told Martin, credible university in America do not have .com. It will be .edu. And say he link all the different institutions that does verification of credentials. Yeah, my husband and myself. I'm just saying, all of y'all know this. That's how we started. But I was going to be in the back. I was not going to be in the face. When Martin Colley first wanted to get scholarship, I had to talk to Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings talked and Mariah. We took it from there. I called him and said he did what he needed to do. Martin Colley told me he knew Bwaka would not do anything. But all of those children are on payroll, including Martin Colley. Martin Colley can raise $8,000, $10,000, $14,000 to pay school fees. We're setting the tune. So when tomorrow comes, the people who are sponsoring him, when he says that, they say Martin Colley was an advocate, so we'll follow where he goes. The story, the songs are the same. They're just different dancers. And you are not listening. You don't hear the wordings because you don't want to hear it. You are not listening to the wordings because you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. Nothing's changed. Okay? You were complaining about we are leaving Liberia. The president is asking the scene. Bwaka it's deja vu. That's what it is. So what has changed for y'all? What's the priority? Bwaka were coming back to prosecute those who were looting the country. They were coming back to get justice for the 3 missing boys. They were coming back to give justice and investigation to the 4 auditors. They were coming to give justice, okay, investigate, get justice for the gentleman Balakoli and the gentleman from the central bank who cars were taken from him when Miguel called him. They were coming back to investigate. They were coming back to make sure that Gifty Lama got justice, that Princess Cooper got justice, that the people, children that they were grabbing and tying and cutting the parts get justice, that those children that were shot at in King Gray Junction there, that they got justice. That's what they were coming back for. They were coming back to investigate our money that were missing, the billions of dollars that were missing. They were coming back to investigate the 25 million map up. Where is that now? They were coming back to give us justice and accountability and reparation. Where is that now? Remember, they said they were coming to rescue you, but they're flying everywhere, just collecting. Just collecting. So what has changed for you? Workers don't have any. They don't have means. They have no plan. When you hear the man who's supposed to be doing plan, listen, my husband is an engineer in the United States. He planned 100 years in advance. They lay it out. This is based on this much migration to this place, that place, based on the birth rate, based on the last maybe 2 census, the last 20 years, the last 100 years, this is the growth. Based on immigration, how many people settled in the United States a year, this is the growth rate. Based on how many births that is being given, this is the projection. Then as they go along, they make the needed adjustment. That's how they plan out. But no. I hear him talk about AI. There is the young man named Dr. Boley, Randy Boley, who opened a business, who, in fact, he's an engineer in AI for good. That Chinese Liberian, his wife is a medical doctor, came to Liberia in the last 10 years. Try to work with the Minister of Education. Try. You say work with him. People here want to give money. He hire Liberian, they steal. They take his car, they take his generator, they sell it. He get a new one to help Liberian people, young people, to bring them to them. Some of the young people that he treat, they're in China, they're there. And he work remotely with them. Go to Liberia every 2 months. No, he a Liberian. He don't have money to give for them to divide it. But he coming to bring his knowledge to help Liberians. He was on Spoon before. They studied the country, okay, the family dynamics for 4 years before they started implementing, based on the data, and they create service plan for those people, our children. And you're talking about AI at the University of Liberia. You got no electricity. You ain't even got place to poo-poo. How you going to do that? How? I see Leo built. You already have a sample. You're building school with no electricity. You're building school. You're still building water tower. You're looking for generator. When you can use renewable energy, you can use solar panel. No, you don't want to invest that money. Instead of Jeremiah Kuhn telling the president to put money in the budget, we will build a student center in Nima Community College. He was just in China. Most of the thing in China. I mean, the Ganges, they get wide credit, but they use solar power, renewable energy, wind energy. But you go buy motorbike, 250 motorbike to give it to young boys to get themselves Hwanyans. For now, they will enjoy riding it. The next thing, the back will start hitting. The next thing, the stomach will start growing. They will start having Hwanyan. Well, they were just in the hospital. Then some of them we have to give the kidney to pay for it. But his children are in Liberia in college. The ones that are in America, they're in school. They're on Facebook 24/7, showcasing the expensive pocketbook. What has changed? Remember, they came to rescue you. Those who they rescue from, all of them dining and whining together. What has changed? You know, I was listening today to Prince Johnson's family, where the son were explaining that Prince Johnson building is up for sale. It's up for sale. Prince Johnson building is up for sale. Imagine that. It's up for sale. You know, I'm sorry. I don't feel bad. I anticipated it. It is literally history repeating itself. Go to the building that Doe built. And I see the last time, Doe wife, Doe children asking for money. I will hire a lawyer in Liberia to sue the Liberian government for my pain and suffering. They were living in one bed when he took over by force. Ibrahim Traore cared for his country, he took over. Nothing's changed. The whole country has changed. He wear the same clothes over and over. He refused to leave his country. Saudi Arabia offered you to build 200 mosques in his country. He said, no, we don't need mosques. We have enough mosques. We need school. We need factory. We need jobs. In 2 years, that boy has changed the country. The road that boy had built in that country, since the inception of the independence of that nation, they had not built that many miles or kilometers of road yet. Looking out for his people. Burkina Bees from all over the world are contributing to build a street, to build a home. The same thing is happening in Ethiopia. But they saw the effort of the government, what the government is doing. What your government doing? They want me to come and invest. But the Liberian who left, Musa used to live here. Musa, and I literally in the same subdivision, his subdivision is next to where he used to live. Had a business here, pack up, came to Liberia, opened a business when Liberia were not in a position to do. Now, the Liberian people, I live in America. Elon Musk got more money than Donald Trump, than Barack Obama. Barack Obama had more money than Joe Biden. You know why? He earned it. He wrote books. He does voiceover. He has speaking engagement. He was partner in a law firm before becoming president. Elon Musk used to live with 3 other people broke. He came up with an idea. The government invested in him. We gave tax credit. When I see Liberian on Facebook, especially those who live in America, people with degrees telling you, Musa stole our tax money. Tell you part to go steal $4 and $8 million tax money. Do you know what is for somebody to pay $4 and $8 million tax? Meaning they created something that is bringing in millions, tens of millions of dollars. You give tax credit to foreigners, but you don't give tax credit. Okay? You don't give tax credit to Liberians. But you're asking Liberians to come home and invest their money. But your law system does not honor contracts. You know, it was funny the other day when Papi Boaka said, you know, we can't just cancel contract because of the international law. You do not even listen to the law in your own country before you talk about international law. When was contract important to you? That's a lie. Places that Absalom Mattel, when the contract was signed, Papi Boaka got his 3 trucks at the time. He was the vice president. They all got paid to sign this contract, to renew it. They all did. They all did. If you come under my post and ask me for your contribution, right where your pay amount on the contribution, including yours, then you ask me for my contribution. My children, they're all under my post, they know my contribution. Since you knew, you put your ma and pa contribution there, okay? Me being here to educate you, it's more than it's more than contribution. That's what I do. I'm an educator. If you know me, you will know my contribution. But that right there, before you ask people about a contribution, tell me your contribution, tell me your mother's contribution and your father's contribution. I was speaking. So let me continue. And I just want you to know that when you ask those questions, ask them. And before you ask those questions, an informed or educated person would first investigate, who is this woman that's talking? What has she done? How long has she been around? What her role in the Liberian society? What her impact? Instead of y'all just show up properly and ask questions like something is not right. Go to your homework, sweetheart, and come back. And I'm mad, I'm just telling you. Because that tone, it sounds sarcastic. Wow, there go another Liberian child body on the road. So today, Saturday, I'm going to be out jamming. I'm going to stop here. Tomorrow, I have a long day. We have a district test tomorrow. I came and had a conversation with you. Say, may I have my other phone on the table there, for please? Okay. So, Tuesday evening, I'm here. Tuesday evening, I'm here. We will build back the platform. It's been difficult trying to build it back because in 2 years, it shut me down more than twice. My YouTube, the little boy that I hired, and I was paying him faithfully, decided he would not when you would copy people work and put it there. I didn't know that what he was doing, and I said yes to it. They shut down my YouTube channel. They shut down everything that I had. Then my Facebook will also hack. All of you know about that. Both of my Facebook, 174,000. There you go. It's there out there. Now that porno site, they hack it, they sold it to porno people. I just took myself out of it. It's out there. You can see some of them I reached like almost 400,000. Yep. So the point I'm making is, yep. So I am, thank you, dear. I'm proctoring a tech tomorrow. So I need to go get ready, get myself rested. Last night I didn't sleep too well. I went to sleep, then I woke up. I thought if I slept late, I would be able to sleep all through. That didn't happen. But we are where we are. It is what it is. The people can say we inside, so we inside. Okay? So, Mr. Jala, let me get you some attention here. When you come on a grown people post, and you have questions, it's always good for you to go find out first before you come on the post and ask those kind of questions. Do your own investigation first. When you do so and you can't find any information, then you can't ask questions. But when you tell where your own contribution, it sounds sarcastic and disrespectful, especially if you don't know the person. Okay? Intelligent people don't go like that. So I just wanted to let you know that. All right? But you can follow me. Please like my page. We'll be having conversation. The longer you stay around, you will know me. Okay? Be open to education. Be open to learning. Be open to investigate other people, especially if you come on their platform. There's nothing wrong with it. But you got to be careful how you ask questions. You may not intend bad, but because there's no voice behind it, because there's a writing, it seems harsh and disrespectful. Okay? But before you ask other people, mother, where they role, ask you where you own a pie and man on a role, where they play their contribution. The whole world now contribute to Liberia. Liberia is a begging nation. Your president then travel all the time to steal from you. That the people you should be asking, not me. I'm a survivor, just like you. Eh? I am a survivor, just like you. I am outside of the country because the very greedy people brought war and left us without food and left us with nothing, left us almost to die. Most of our people that they killed, we still yet to get justice. Papi Boaka promised us justice and accountability. We yet to see the justice to come. Now you still ought to unite the nation and telling the people, you're spending millions of dollars to travel, but you're telling UN, you do too, Mama. You're telling UN that they don't want to help you. You're making more money than the people working for UN. You're making more money than U.S. Senator, one of the richest country in the world. Oh, no. But you're telling them they must give you money so you can reset your nation after they're giving you billions. So let me start here. Liberians, the people you're elected to rescue the king to rescue themselves, they have no plan. They have no record of creating anything. And they will not create anything. They will keep giving you promise. Remember, Papi Boaka said they will visit the contracts. They're not going to visit no contract. Papi Boaka signature is on all the contracts. All of those contracts, his signature on it too. He got his cut there, he and his family. Yes, he got his cut. So he's not going to do anything different. I want you to know that. He will not do anything different. That said, I'm going to call it a night. And that's that. I see where my stuff at. Let me finish up what I was saying about Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson College. If you remember, Prince Johnson College was struggling a few years back. He reached out to Mr. Cummings for the school. Mr. Cummings is a believer of education. You remember during the Ebola, that one little girl who was the first survivor during the Ebola. Mr. Cummings was one of those people that helped her out when she came here. Mr. Cummings is big about education. And Prince Johnson told Alexander Cummings that his school needed help. And Alexander Cummings helped his school with $50,000. You all remember when my papa Prince Johnson, my papa, he can call me Koulu. Koulu, yeah. He came out to say Mr. Cummings gave him money and call Mr. Cummings' name when they the one who were all there in the UP people who were in the funny stuff. He knew that. Okay. Now today, I see his children. I don't know if he left a will. Thank you, Dixon. We don't know if he left a will. Liberian people, let me tell you something. Once you're born, you're going to die. Write your will. Have a will. Have a will. Have a will. It does not mean you're going to die right away. But we are all going to die. We should not be afraid of death. I'm not. At my age, I'm not. I have lived. I've come full circle. I've been blessed. I've been heard. My voice have gone out. Mind you, a woman who was born from family where aunties before my mother did not have a voice, were dying out very early. Dyrus, if I were president, what would be my priority? I would look at 4 areas. Okay. But call me, we can talk about it. I'll look at 4. It's a very important area. Number 1, what you need to do is how many times have you traveled? You've been to America this year more than 5 times. He's been out of the country more than 15 times. He's been to Ghana at least 3 or 4 times. China, Japan. I think the last time they were in Korea. America owned like his super. He's out of the country every 6 weeks or less. One time he went to Ghana like week back to back. Sierra Leone, Nigeria. You want to talk about what? Listen, you have to understand this. I studied history extensively. I studied nations that have developed, that have changed from having nothing. 1968, China had nothing. China had come from the war. China had come from the war in the 50s. Mao had taken over. The program that Mao took in place failed miserably. China were in isolation. They didn't want to be the people. But guess what? Deng Xiaoping came in. He had 4 platforms that he built his country on. This is the age of technology. How do you be in Liberia and struggle for electricity? A place that is full of water and rain, that have wind. This is, you don't have to reinvent. Okay? You got solar panel, you got wind energy, you got all sorts of renewable energy. A very small country with a small population with wealth of wealth. Whole lot of wealth. Let me tell you one thing. Every nation that you know is developed. You know what they have in common? Knowledge. Even the Bible says that knowledge is power. You see why the Muslim, especially the scholar, the Muslim scholar, you know why they study both, almost all religion, especially the most competitive religion, like Christianity. You know why they do that? Because knowledge is power. You cannot convince people and change their mind in where they are. You know, Nelson Mandela said, South Africa is known for diamond. Diamond. Those who went to South Africa when the imperialists were there, they used to find diamond on the beaches. People used to get on ship and go all the way to South Africa. They will come from there rich. Nelson Mandela said he sees all of this wealth. But the greatest of them, or the purest of them all, is the children. And Confucius says the same thing. Confucius don't believe in God. They're Shinto. They believe in Shintoism. Chinese people, most of the Buddhists, all of us who pray every day. And the Bible says, what good father with a child will ask for bread and will give them rock? But faith without work is dead. You see, we don't listen. When David was not supposed to build the temple, David didn't say, I will just enjoy. When my child comes, that child will find a place to do it. David didn't do that. When David found out he would not build the temple, David knew people who had the know-how, the craftsmen, the builders, the what do you call it, the rock cutter, the carver, people who could weave mats, casping. Let me explain to you to no nation that I have studied, and I have studied nation extensively. Okay? This very America that I sit down in, the reason she is the way she is, and the way she's going right now, it has to do with the leadership. When the people did not believe that the government had a major role to play in elevating its people and changing the nation, the fate of the nation, America struggles. In the late 20s, the 30s, that's why FDR was elected 3 times. America suffered. They stood in line in soup kitchen. They suffered. They moved from place to place. The people were living in cardboard until FDR came. And start subsidizing electricity. The government empowers its people. You cannot sit here and tell me because the president, they have to be unbiased. You want me to take my money, everything that I work for my age, go invest it. Then when the government get ready and tell me they will take it or they will just break it down with no remorse. I remember this man, Steve Adam, built a 5-story house next to Findale. When Ellen asked Liberian to come home, 5-story, that big building over there. Whatever happened, whether it happened, fell off with Ellen. Ellen demanded they must break down the building. He went to her. He said, you don't have to break it down. Let the university student use it at the campus. I will leave it and go. They said no. They broke it down. Now let's be unbiased. You call Liberian to come home. Musa Belete left from America, left his business, came to Liberia, built an oil tank. When Liberia was just coming and could not afford it, hire hundreds and hundreds of people. Today, you say he bought cars like the president, although he was riding the car before. I've driven most of some of Musa's car. A Lexus. He Benz. Now, one low pistol boy in the name of whatever told got up one morning and say, oh, Musa owe all tax money. I live in America. Most businesses don't pay taxes because they hire people that the people pay taxes. And in fact, if business owe taxes, small businesses owe tax, the government will negotiate with them to keep people working. Yes, Ellie. His name is Steve Adam. He always on SKTV. That my brother friend. That's why he left. He has a tech company here. He has a major tech company here. They broke it down. He has 5-story building next there to LU Findale. They broke it down. I've seen a few days your government breaking down building, although most Liberians don't even have a place to sleep. That's how you develop a nation. You leave the people there. You start creating new area. You develop it. The people are going to move voluntarily. Right now, in the Liberian government, the $10 million that Bouaka took. $10 million. Kakata, Queen Kakata Magibi. By 50 acres of land. Build nice little 3-bedroom. $10,000–$15,000. Okay? On a quarter of a lot each. Don't pack it together. That nonsense that we are then put together there, the people in the ghetto. Lay out nicely. Rent it $10 a month. $10 a month. You put utility inside. $15 for the utility, that's $25 a month. Build the first 100 units. So we say 10, 15,000. So every 10 is 150,000 you spend. Build 100 units. When the first rent come out, find another location for that particular area. Put a cul-de-sac, a shopping center, put restaurant, but don't put it close to the residential area. Let it be outside of the residential area. I live right here. 2 minutes from around here, there's the commercial center here. There's a new salon. There's a hair salon. There's a gas station. There's a grocery store. There's a pet mat. There's a restaurant. There's fast food. There's what do you call it? Animal hospital. There's dry cleaners. There's a pizza. Oh, we're right here. There's a bank. Right there, the government have money to come in. $25 times 100 unit. Okay? You think about that. $25 plus 100 unit. Times 100 unit. Who is that? Okay? Focus on relocating the people. Let them move. And you don't give it free, because you give it free, they're not going to take care of it. Make sure there are people that can buy. While you invest in stable electricity or then renewable energy. Where all of these countries that I talk about have in common is knowledge, education. Look at Toa Accra on this platform for 6 years on we are telling him what to do. And the people say, I hated him. Oh, first, a lot of people didn't know I was married. I've been married, and I'm not even a kid. I'm a grown old woman with grandchildren. The thing is, Toa, you got to understand that when Liberia does, when the president does right by our people, our stress will drop. Our life will be changed. We'll be proud to beat our chest as a nation. That's why some of us talk. That's why some of us talk. You can do that. Instead of you breaking and we are doing exactly what the presidents that came before us. Ellen did the same thing. Taylor did the same thing. We did the same thing. Joseph Bouaka is doing exactly the same thing. When Ellen did the first time, Ellen had a good advisor. When she had that woman to the bank, she had Dr. Gompu. She had Monique Siawe. She had knowledgeable people who had character to protect. So they were not going to put their name on the land. When it got to the point that they wanted to do Driba, all of them left. Dr. Gompu left. Akensaya left. I think, what her name? Yes. She left. Most of the people that came in early later here, They were not, they don't understand what we say ergonomics. They were practicing on the job. You spend $400,000 to go to Japan to say you did, you tighten. We don't need to. Saudi Arabia, the desert kingdom, Saudi Arabia. That man have 5 years plan, 5 years. That way I talk that king, 5 years. When 60 Minutes asking why you in so much and hurry. I teach, and by the way, I teach the history of all of this country that I'm telling you about. I study history extensively. I study the economy. I study their history. I study how they came to be where they are. I study African history, the independence movement, the different empire. I did. Educate your children. Education is not disposable. Once you educate one generation, it will take 100 generations for those generations to shift. We buy cars. I see yesterday people were rejoicing how the government bought car for the drug enforcer. Okay, so we collect the drugs. Congratulations. I didn't see ambulance. The people who are taking the drugs, they're sick. I didn't see ambulance. You know one thing? All our police officers know first aid. They know how to resuscitate temporarily. Yes, Stephen, he did. Stephen Adam, if you want to, one day I can put you on the phone with you. I may spend millions. They broke it down. The same thing they're doing right now to Musa. You're telling me, yes, Cindy, go take $200,000-$300,000 line of credit or home equity, or take your retirement, come and invest in Liberia. I got properties. I can do what I'm saying there. But why the government wake up tomorrow after the war and say, you know what? This is an alley. I don't want you there. What happens? What happens? Liberia will flunk to Liberia to invest. If they see, because a lot of us, although we didn't run campaign for Bwaka, but a lot of us thought, at least he older, he got experience. Bwaka is the most educated, most experienced native man ever ascended to the presidency. If he fail, shame on all of us. Some of us not talking because we're jealous. We're not talking because we want a job. If I want a job, I would not have spoken during the war, during the second round. I would have just stayed quiet. I would have taken Papa Bwaka. My brother was like a son to Papa Bwaka. Papa Bwaka, when I sat on the scene table and hang out many, many times. Work with him. I know him personally. But it's not about how much clothes can one person wear? How much house can one person have? How much money can one person spend? How much? Let me say good night to you, but I'm going to say this. The house that Bill and Taylor built is still unfinished. The one that Todman built now is a fortress. The one that Doe built now that drug house. And the one that Joseph Bwaka is building, let me not go far. The one that Prince Johnson built. Today, they're fighting over it. And his name will be erased. You know, the Bible says only the things we do for God shall last. I'm going to say good night to all of you. Good night. You prioritize education. You prioritize agriculture. You prioritize electricity or infrastructure. You prioritize technology. You don't have to create job for Liberians. If you got stable, reasonable electricity, your telecommunication system works. Liberians speak good English. Some of us, we'll go talking to banks, service industry. We can build the call centers because you people are 4 or 5 hours ahead. American economy run 24/7. We used to, when I worked for SunTrust Financial Service, we used to, Belize, when I used to do our stuff. And at the time, US minimum wage was like $7. We were paying people in Belize $3 an hour. Imagine $3 an hour, you were $10 a day. It's $30 a day. Liberians can't even get $2 a day. You're getting $30 a day. We can, if you have like places in Nimba, like Grand Gita, everybody don't have to come to Monrovia. You look at 4 things, you do it and do it well. That's it. Infrastructure, development, agriculture, people must eat, education, because competitive. You got people who are well learned. Like right now, America will hire a teacher from Ghana. And Ghanaians got stronger accent than us, but they're good in math. Most of the math teachers here at my school, they're Ghanaians. They do. And Nigerians. When you educate your population, you don't have to find a place to put them. You see, right now, Japan is hiring Indians to come to the, because their population, they're aging out. Mr. Tua, I sat on this platform. I tried to talk to Josh Ware and people that used to come cuss me and they didn't want to listen. I went to Liberia back and forth and say, I sat right on this platform and said, oh, the woman, because she used to go out with Josh Ware didn't like her. Josh Ware is a friend to my brother. He's not my kind of guy. Love him because during the war, he was the only thing that was coming out of Liberia that was good. He has a talent. God gave him his foot. He know how to use it. But he's not my kind of guy. No. I'm sorry. The first dark-skinned man I dated, I married, and I've been married to him forever. He's not my kind of guy. There's nothing wrong with him. It's good for a club. We are, and other women who like him, but it's not my kind of guy. I wanted him to be successful. My mother called him her son. 99% of my family supported Josh Ware. I wanted Josh Ware to be successful. Even Josh Ware, initially, when he had a PhD, and they sent us, my uncle has a PhD in agriculture. My uncle John and my husband. And they sent us half. When I called back, I said, this is not all. How do we help? And I said, when you're ready, you'll let us know. But ours, we can still do that in our own country. They're here. Liberian today, we're the most educated generation of our time. You know, I was listening to George today, George family. I'm going to finish with this talk with George family. We posted it today. And I thought, yes, George family. This was one of, and then we didn't save this, George family. And he makes so much sense, so much sense. Let me play this for you, and I'm going to end with this. So the point I'm making is, those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Here we are. We're right here. Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson even been there 1 year. Prince Johnson. The building. And nobody going to help him. When he was struggling, he and we were not seeing out to help because we had helped him. And he asked Mr. Cummings about his school. He came by and said something else. So let me play this. Oh Lord. All right, I'm gonna finish with this, guys. Your good night, everyone. Please share the stuff. Please share the show for me. I'm gonna say good night. And I'm gonna try to go to bed. I want to say thank you to all of you who tune in. We're here Saturday morning in the kitchen, Tuesday evening around this time, Thursday evening around this time. We'll try to start getting guests on. I need to get Natalie on here. I keep telling her I will get her on. I never have, which is so bad. That makes me bad. Make me a bad sister. So let's do this, and we're gonna close this. Y'all see, let me tell you, Liberian people. Y'all see, majority of the rich people, the king and the queens, their children learn compulsory. They learn history. They learn about money, economics, everything else fall in place under those things. Let's do this. Y'all listen here. I will end with this.
Management and services. This is not a minerals contract where people have to bring in heavy equipment. They have to dig the ground. They got to build infrastructure to bring iron ore from Guinea and truck it through to Buchanan. This is not that. This is a services contract. It's a management and services contract, and they gave the contract for 25 years. It's one thing for the government of Liberia to say, okay, let's accept the argument that we don't have any Liberians that can do this right now. Just for the sake of this argument. This is the largest, the most educated generations of Liberians in our history. This group of Liberians right now in the world is the most educated group of Liberians in Liberia's history. We excel at every area of endeavor. You want brain surgeon? We got brain surgeon. You want heart surgeon? We got heart surgeon. You want physicist? We got physicists. You understand what I'm saying? We can cover every spectrum. Problem in Liberia, and I supported this government, is that the gatekeepers of the government have decided that they are going to see every contract that is let as their long-term security investment, even when they are out of government. Because there is nobody that can explain to me that if you put Lofa Julius in that company for 5 years and say you have 5 years to be management, to learn this process, okay? And Liberians should take it over. Let me tell you something, man. When I came to this country, I'd never seen a computer.
Me neither.
I had never seen a computer. I was able to learn to program computers. You got a man in Lofa Junior? They don't have that thing to the place you're coming from. You got it? But he was able to come here and learn it. So you know what it says? It says we can learn. But when you give out a 25-year contract for services, you know what you say to Lofa Julius? You can't learn. These people will do this work for 25 years. Now, let's talk about the data. I reviewed the contract. I did an analysis of it. Okay? Nowhere in the contract does it say that we own the data. It says after 25 about the concession contract. This is not a minerals contract where people.
So there you have it. They get contract to everybody else. When Liberia come and they're trying to put their foot up, they clamp down on you. They railroad you because you don't align with government. I remember Brother Terrence's father went to Liberia to open a business. What did we do? They did the same thing to him. Same thing to him. They did the same thing to him. He ended up closing. and move it back to the States. We went in Liberia 2007, 2008. We end up moving right back. Some of you who ask, what have I done? This is where I am. When the nation does not have laws that is set that everyone can abide by, when certain people are above the law. Today, I just found out 2 other children were raped again. The other guy who raped that child, they said the little girl was crying. He turned the music up high and he finished up what he wanted to do while he destroyed that child. The other guy, Bill Miguel, is still running outside. But we amplify that. We make him popular. Okay? We will write the UN human rights. We will write all the State Departments. We have our own drama, but he needs to stay in Liberia. He will not come here because most of them back when they come to the US. He's not coming here. Okay? Thank you. Just like I told Mike Jabate, when Mike Jabate came on this platform and said, if America were like next door, he would put a bullet in my head. I put it right there and I sent it in. So let's continue to go. Some of them, they didn't come because they can't come. They denied them visa. That's that. So we'll call it a night. You have a good day, folks. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. God bless.